ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। So we saw the Mahavakya is that which reveals the identity of Jiva and Brahma. That the nature of the Jiva is essentially Brahman. And this Mahavakya, when we use, the literal meaning of it may not be applicable, but the implied meaning, the Lakshyartha, is what we have to go for. Why is the literal meaning not applicable? Because there is a contradiction. Viruddha dharma, it was said. Jiva is Alpagnya, Alpavyapi, Alpashaktiman. And Ishvara is Sarvagnya, Sarvavyapi and Sarvashaktiman. So, definitely it is not applicable literally that Jiva is equal to Ishvara. And various examples were given. It is like the glowworm and the sun, the king and the servant, the water in the well and the ocean, and then atom and Mount Meru. So now, how do we determine the actual meaning of this? So first thing we have to know is that the Jiva and Ishvara, how are they, what is the meaning of each of these? So we saw that Jiva is consciousness plus individual body, mind, intellect. Ishvara is consciousness plus the total body, mind, intellect. Now, this individual body, mind, intellect is a superimposition. So that has to be negated. So when we say the negation, as we have discussed earlier, the negation is not destruction of the body, mind, intellect. Negation is only destruction of the false identification that I am the body, mind, intellect. When that false identification goes, what does Jiva realize? Jiva realizes I am consciousness. By steady contemplation on that I am consciousness, this false identification goes. When the Jiva's false identification goes, if Jiva Bhav is not there, then the Jagat and Ishvara, they also don't exist. Like the deep sleep example. When we don't have Jiva Bhav in deep sleep, there is no Jagat, there is no Ishvara. Only difference is in that state there is ignorance. In this, there is no ignorance because there is illumination, there is knowledge. So the moment we negate our false identification, the total body, mind, intellect, superimposition of Ishvara also goes. So Jiva is equal to consciousness, Ishvara is equal to consciousness, so Jiva is equal to Ishvara. Essentially, Jiva is one with the Supreme. That is the conclusion here. So 243rd we saw that Tayor Virodho Yam Upadhi Kalpitaha. This is a superimposition. They appear to be opposite, or they appear to be not equal because of the superimposition. One is limited, other is unlimited. But na vastavaha kaschid. This is not real. Like the snake is not at all real. One has to negate that. So if we remove this, Ishasya Maya Mahadadi Karanam, Jivasya Karyam Shunu Panchakosham. Ishvara's Maya and the whole Mahad, etc., the total intellect, and then the ego, and then the five elements. That entire thing gets negated automatically if I negate the Panchakosha. Jivasya Karyam Shunu Panchakosham. Then we had seen that in the detail. Then it was said, 244, Etav Upadhi Para Jivayoho Tayoho. When the Upadhis of both these Jiva and Ishvara, Samyak Nirase, when they are negated completely, Na Paraha Na Jivaha. There is no Ishvara, there is no Jiva. Like the king and the soldier. The king is a king identified with the kingdom, and the soldier is a soldier who is identified with the shield and the sword. When both these are taken away, that person is, they both become equal. Otherwise, there is a relationship of the master and the servant. The king is the master, the soldier is a servant. Tayor apohe na bhato na raja. When this upadhi is removed, then the person is neither a king nor a soldier, it's a human being. Now, in the same way, this is what has to be done. So, continuing further, 245, he says, अथात आदेश इति श्रुति स्वयं निषेधति ब्रह्मणि कल्पितं द्वयं श्रुति प्रमाणानुगृहीत बोधात् तयोर्निरासः करणीय एव. अथात आदेश इति श्रुति स्वयं. So now see again Shankaracharya ji is quoting the Vedic, so Upanishadic proof, quotation from this Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 2.3.6. Athata Adesha Neti Neti iti Shrutihi. So what does the Brihadaranyaka say? Not this, not this. Negation of the false identification is the only way to realize the truth. One cannot define the truth. All pointers also will negate what the truth is not. Some conditioning will come in our mind that has to be negated. The truth is not that. That is the method that the Shruti advises, that when you keep negating not this, and 2 times it is said, neti, neti. Nishedheti brahmani kalpitam dvayam. Why it is said 2 times? Because we have to negate the gross body, subtle body, both, meaning this physical form as well as the jiva bhav. So now that subtle body will include causal body also, ignorance. So neti neti, meaning gross and subtle, both negate. Nishedati brahmani kalpitam dvayam. That is one meaning. Other meaning of neti neti is reject or negate the jiva bhav and ishvara bhav. Both. Nishedati brahmani kalpitam dvayam. Shruti pramana anugrahita bodhat. By the support of the Shruti praman, tayor nirasa karniya eva. One must certainly negate this false identification. So with that faith that yes, this is the path of negation, and this is what the scripture also is saying, that this is the way to realize the pure consciousness. We cannot, like if you remember, we discussed that this consciousness cannot be rejected, consciousness cannot be acquired. It is already present. Only the false notion that it is something else, that superimposition has to be removed, the real truth will reveal. See, if the snake is rejected, the rope will reveal. In the example of snake and rope, we know exactly that the rope is appearing as the snake. That is because we are right now discussing from a objective standpoint. But the person who is deluded, the person doesn't know it is a rope. The person thinks that there is only the snake. So that person has to see clearly and negate, no, this is not the snake, this is not the snake. Then what it is, it will reveal. It need not be rope always. It can be a garland, it can be a stick, it can be a crack on the earth, anything it can be. That is being perceived wrongly as a snake. So what is the method for that person? Negate, negate, not this, not this. What is the truth will reveal. In the same way here it is that Mahavakyas help us to negate and not this, not this. Then what is the truth will reveal. Though we may use pointers, like we saw so many pointers of Brahman, what are those pointers also doing? They are not defining Brahman. They are negating what Brahman is not. Brahman is not finite, Brahman is not born, Brahman is not changing. So I'm negating whatever is finite, whatever is changing, whatever is finite, limited, born, changing, all those I am negating. What remains, the truth will reveal. That is infinite. So now in the Mahavakyas also, Tattvamasi, when it is said Neti Neti has to be applied, there is one portion that has to be negated completely, which is the Upadhis. Not this, not this. The Upadhi of the Jiva, the Upadhi of the Ishvara negate. In sadhana, definitely when we negate the Upadhi of the Jiva, Ishvara's Upadhi will get negated automatically. But why it is said 2 times Neti Neti then? It is said because we have to remember this, that when I negate the Jiva Bhav, Ishvara Bhav will get negated also. So both will get negated. I don't have to do anything to negate the second one, the Ishvara Bhav. I can negate the first one, Jiva Bhav. That if it goes, the Ishvara Bhav will go automatically. And then what will remain? Will there be a blank? Sachidananda Ghana Atma, that is what we will experience. So now, how do we do this negation? This Neti Neti is explained further in the next one, 246. Nedam Nedam Kalpitatvanna Satyam Rajju Drashtavyalavat Swapnavacha Itham Drishyam Sadhu Yuktya Vyapohya Neya Paschad Ekabhavastayoryaha. What is said as Neti Neti is described here as Nedam Nedam. Na idam, na idam. Not this, not this. Why? Kalpitatvat na satyam. Because it is imagined, superimposed, it is not real. Rajju drashta vyalavat swapnavaccha. Like the snake that is seen on the rope. The snake that is seen on the rope, as well as the dream, swapnavat. Now both these, so you see Shruti Praman is given Athata Adesha Neti Neti, that is the Shruti Praman. Logic was also given earlier, that why this is a superimposition. Because it is changing. Only when the Jiva wakes up, then the world is perceived. And that also changes in the waking dream, deep sleep. So then it is not real. So logic was given that why this is not real. Shruti Praman is given. Now the experiential proof also is given. Swapnavaccha. Like the snake and the rope and the dream. Both are superimpositions. Now one thing we should always remember, we have said this earlier also, but just to make it go deeper into our mind. Whenever we say it is a superimposition, it is an illusion. Now we should remember, as long as I am seeing it, it is real to me. And it will affect me also. As long as the dream is there, the dream appears very real. So the effort is to wake up saying that this is not real, this is not real, but as long as that one is in the dream, whatever one has to play the roles in the dream or one has to follow the rules in the dream, that one follows. One can't go up the building and say this whole world is an illusion, I'm going to jump, nothing is going to happen because anyway it's an illusion. No. One famous story is there of this uh, Guru and the Shishyas. So now they are learning this Vedant. They live in the forest in a kutia. And there, the knowledge of Vedant they are learning. So this whole world is an illusion, Brahman alone is real. All that they did in the morning class. Then they have to go to some village. As they are walking, suddenly there was a mad elephant that was charging. So everybody started running, the Guru is running, the Shishya is running, but one disciple didn't run. A Guru is saying that run, the disciple is saying no, this world is an illusion, how does it matter? And he got knocked, he got hit badly. Then everybody gathered, they brought him back to consciousness, and then the disciple is asking, if the world is an illusion, that's what you taught us in the morning, why did you run? He is asking the Guru. The Guru said, my running was also an illusion. Who told you that I ran? Because if we consider the world as an illusion, it doesn't mean that we don't do what has to be done. What has to be done has to be done. That also is a part of illusion only. What the Guru taught the disciple also is a part of the illusion. The morning class also was an illusion. From which standpoint? From the waker standpoint. While he was there in the dream, it was real. So one can't just stand on the way and the elephant will come and knock you. Then the elephant also is illusion, the knocking is illusion, the pain is illusion, the teacher's running is illusion, everything is illusion. But from which standpoint? Waker standpoint. For the sadhak who is inside the dream, who wants to wake up, can keep saying this is an illusion to remove the false identification in the mind. This body, mind, intellect will still be influenced by the rules in this illusion. So one lives according to those rules. But knowing inside that this is not real, like the actor example is the best for this. The actor knows that I am not this role, but still the actor will play that role to perfection. Everything that the role demands, the actor will do. And so many actors will put extra effort to get into that role. They will study, they will, understand, they will do research, and then they will come into that mode and then go and act. Because it has to appear very real to the audience. But deep down they know this is not real. That is how one has to live here. Live like the actor. So when it is said that Rajju Drashta Vyalavat Swapnavat, it appears like the snake and the dream, both appearances are there, but they are not real. So neti neti. Ittam drishyam sadhu yuktya vapohya. In this way, with proper logic and experiential proof, if you remove whatever false notion we have about the seen world, Jnaya Paschad Ekabhavas Tayoryaha. One must understand the oneness that is underlying the Jiva and the Ishvara by negating the superimpositions. How to negate the superimpositions? Keep doing the sadhana of unifying the mind, and then contemplation. Now we saw, see the word sadhu here doesn't mean itham drishyam sadhu yuktya. The sadhu is not a formal sadhu here. The word sadhu here means good, proper reasoning. Sadhu yuktya. Sadhu itself by itself means good. You want to compliment somebody, it's a, you are looking good today, you can say sadhu. You made some good food, you say sadhu annam pachitam. Nicely you have made the food. So like that, the word sadhu yuktya means proper good logic. Yukti means logic. Sadhu yuktya. Now, this Mahavakya which is there, which helps us to negate the false identification. We saw earlier that the literal meaning cannot apply. We have to use the implied meaning. So Lakshana Vritti we have to apply. So let us see what he's saying about that. 247. Tatastutau Lakshanaya Sulakshyav Tayor Akhandaikara Sattva Siddhaye Nalam Jahatya Natatha Jahatya Kintu Bhayarthatmikayaiva Bhavyam. Tatastu tau lakshanaya sulakshav. This Jiva and Ishvara must be, carefully we have to understand the implied meaning, lakshanaya. For sulakshav. Tayor akhandaika rasatva siddhaya. Sorry. For the establishing their oneness. Akhanda eka rasa. To establish this unbroken oneness between Jiva and Ishvara, what should be used? We have to use the Lakshana Vritti, indicative meaning, implied meaning. So now there are three types of sentences and constructs. How we will understand the implied meaning. So one is called as Jahat Lakshana. Now please remember, when we say that the implied meaning has to be used, that is when the literal meaning is not applicable. So which implied meaning has to be taken? There are methods for determining that. Those are three methods given here. What are those methods? Number one, first method is called Jahat Lakshana. Jahat Lakshana. Literally Jahat means to drop. Jahati means to drop. So Jahat Lakshana means the meaning of that sentence is completely negated. What is the example for that? So let us say one example is a person looks at the photograph of let us say his daughter and shows that photograph to the friend. This is my daughter. Now the literal meaning there is not applicable because that paper is not the daughter. So that literal meaning has to be fully negated. This is my daughter. The photograph is not equal to the daughter. So one rejects the whole meaning and implies that this is how the daughter looks and this is my daughter's photograph. Through the photograph of the daughter is being introduced, not the real daughter. So this is my daughter, when that sentence is used, that entire meaning is negated because actually you are seeing the paper. When we salute the flag saying this is my country, I salute my country, then this is the flag, this is my country, that entire meaning is negated. Because the piece of cloth is not the flag. And a new meaning is taken that this represents my country and I am saluting this country. So the implication is when I am saluting the flag, I am actually saluting the country. So this is called Jahat Lakshan. When we negate everything, the entire meaning is negated. And something connected to that is what is implied there. That is taken. What that sentence is implying, that is taken, the actual meaning is negated fully. In the scripture, the traditional example given is Gangayam Ghosha. The traditional example given is Gangayam Ghosha means the sentence translates as the house is on the Ganga. House is on the Ganga means how can the house be on the Ganga? So that meaning is negated, and it is implied that on the banks of Gangaji there is this house. So this is the first method where we negate the actual meaning completely and we take the implied meaning of what is indicated. Second is so first one is Jahal Lakshana. Second one is Ajahad Lakshana. So in this verse you say Na alam jahatya. Jahatya means a Jahal Lakshana. Na tatha ajahatya. There is one avagraha. So the second method is Ajahat Lakshana. Now Ajahat Lakshana means not dropping but adding something to it. See, Jahat Lakshana may we drop the actual sentence. We drop the meaning, we use something else that is indicating that. So that photograph is dropped, but that person is indicated. When we say the house is on the Ganga, that house is on the Ganga, that is dropped, but then it is understood that the house is on the banks of the Ganga. Suppose one says the lion roared. No, not the lion roared. He roared like a lion. So that's a comparison there. Implied meaning is he spoke very well. We reject the literal meaning there. Because obviously it is not talking about him roaring like a lion. It is talking about him speaking very well with so much of, let us say, whatever, courage or confidence. So we reject the actual meaning and then we take the implied, what is implied through that. That is called Jahad Lakshana. In Ajahad Lakshana, we don't reject anything, but whatever is incomplete in that we add. Without rejecting, we add. In the first one, we reject. So what is the example for that? Suppose we say, the tea is coming. The tea is coming means what? The tea is not going to walk and come. What is implied in that is a person with the tea is coming. So now the tea is coming is not rejected. What is added to it? Person with the tea. Person is added. The person with the tea is coming. That's what it means. The traditional example given for that is Shono Dhavati. The red runs. Now, red runs means how will the color red run? What it is indicating is the red horse is running. So horse is added to it. Though the expression is red runs. Red runs is for like a idiomatic or a poetic expression, it is there. Red runs. Shono Dhavati. The indication through that is that the red horse is running there. It can be any other creature also. Just an example of horse. Red runs. So nothing is rejected from it. It is added. Now, the third vritti is called Jahat Ajahat Lakshana. So it is called Ubhaya. So in the shloka you have Kintu Ubhayarthatmikaya eva. Ubhayartha. Ubhayartha means this. Reject and add, both. Meaning partly you reject and part you add. Or you retain. So part you reject and part you retain. Jahat Ajahat. You don't reject fully, don't add fully. You retain partly and you reject partly. It's also called bhaga tyaga. One part you retain, one and then you reject the other part. What is the example for that? Example for that is I eat the chocolate. When we say I eat the chocolate which is there in front of me, obviously I don't eat it as it is because it is full of, it has wrapper and then the paper inside, all that. So what do? I open the chocolate, reject the wrapper, take the inside chocolate and eat. So there is bhagat tyaga. There is part rejection and part retention. Eat this chocolate or I eat this chocolate. In that the person will keep one part, reject the other part. Jahat ajahat lakshana. Now why are these three being told? Because how do I determine this Tattvamasi, the implied meaning of Tattvamasi, which of the Lakshana will apply? So if we say that, can Jahat Lakshana apply to Tattvamasi? Reject the meaning completely. Jiva, you are that. That's the meaning, Tattvamasi. Can I reject the meaning completely? I cannot reject the meaning completely. Why? Because that is the identity that I want to prove, that you are that. Can I add something saying that if I add something, now Jiva will become equal to Ishvara? Any amount of things we add to the Jiva will not become equal to Ishvara. Any amount of water we can add in the wave, it will not become equal to the ocean. So I cannot use the Ajahat Lakshana, I cannot use the Jahat Lakshana also. Then what to use? I have to use the Jahat Ajahat Lakshana. So this equation which we saw, Jiva is equal to body, mind, intellect plus consciousness. Ishvara is equal to total body, mind, intellect or Maya plus consciousness. Now in this I cannot negate this equation because that is the truth. Jiva is equal to body, mind, intellect plus consciousness. Ishvara is equal to total BMI plus consciousness. So now in the statement Tattvam Asi, you are that, I cannot reject you are that because that is the identity we want to establish. Essentially, you are that. That's the identity we have to establish. Nor can I add anything to you to make it equal to this, that. I cannot add anything to Jiva to make the Jiva equal to the Ishvara, and then we say that you are equal to that. So neither can that complete rejection apply nor some addition can apply. Then what has to be done? In you are that, what is you? You is Jiva, individual BMI plus consciousness. What is that? Total BMI plus consciousness. So one part which is the BMI part, total BMI and individual BMI, that is to be rejected and consciousness is to be retained. If you reject the BMI part in Jiva and Ishvara, then you are that will apply. Why? Because Jiva is then essentially consciousness, Ishvara is also essentially consciousness, and they both are one. So this method is utilized, Jahat Ajahat Lakshana is utilized to understand what is exactly conveyed by the implication. What is the exact implied meaning that we have to derive out of it. Because if we use the other two, it will not give us the correct understanding and methodology will be wrong. Because see, this is not, again remember, this is not an intellectual discussion. Vedanta is completely experiential. Suppose I say that, I will apply the method of adding without rejecting. So, ajahad lakshana I will apply. In sadhana, how will I add anything to this one BMI to become equal to Ishvara? It is not possible at all. All this has sadhana implications. When we say negate the body, mind, intellect, that can be done. Retain the consciousness, negate the BMI, that can be done. That's what we do in contemplation. Detach from the BMI, attached to the truth. That we are exactly doing that. Jahad, ajahad, lakshana is what we are applying in contemplation. So I cannot apply the total rejection, because how will I reject Jiva and Ishvara? That they cannot be rejected at all. We saw that earlier also, how the truth cannot be negated. So Jiva and Ishvara, they are there, because they are consciousness only appearing as this. So total rejection is not possible, and adding anything to it without rejection, that also is not possible. Then what is possible? Partial rejection, partial retention is possible. So that is called Jahat Ajahat Lakshana. Now that is further elaborated by this example in the next two verses. Sadeva datto yamitiha chaikata viruddha dharma shamapasya kathyate yatha tatha tatvamasiti vakye viruddha dharmanubhayatra hitva samlakshya chinmatrataya sadatmanaha akhanda bhava parichiyate budhaihi evam mahavakya shatena kathyate brahmatmanoraikyam akhanda bhavaha. Sa Devadattoyam. This is that Devadatta. Iti iha cha ekata. In that there is a establishment of oneness. Viruddha dharma shama pasya kathyate. By eliminating the Viruddha dharma. What is the meaning of this? This means something which is close by. That means something which is far. How can there be how can there be a thing which is close by and far at the same time? Either we can say this Devadatta, or we can say that Devadatta. This Devadatta means who is standing near here. That Devadatta means that person there. So when it is said Soyam Devadatta, this is that Devadatta, what is implied? This is that Devadatta who did such and such thing at that time. That's what is implied. So we are retaining one part, that this Devadatta, we are retaining, who is here in front of us, is that Devadatta who did this and this thing at that time. So we are rejecting the word that to mean somewhere else at this moment. We are saying is that Devadatta who has done such and such thing before. Retaining this Devadatta, rejecting that Devadatta meaning somewhere else. So that's what it means. That is called Bhaga and Tyaga. Retain one part, reject one part. That Devadatta standing there, no, not in this time, in another period of time. This is that Devadatta. Suppose you say that, what did this Devadatta do? He ran 100 meters in 9 seconds. He is that Devadatta. So this is that Devadatta is retaining the Devadatta part here and rejecting this Devadatta existing somewhere else at this point in time, and in place of that implying some work that he has done before. He ran 100 meters in 9 seconds. So sa Devadattoyam iti iha cha ekata viruddha dharma Shamapasya kathyate. Yatha tatha. In the same way, in Tattvamasi iti vakye, in the Mahavakya of Tattvamasi, Viruddha dharmanubhayatra hitva. What is contradictory is rejected because the contradiction is in what? It is not in the consciousness. Jiva, the consciousness in the Jiva, consciousness in Ishvara is the same. In that there is no contradiction. Then what is that which is contradictory? The upadhis are contradictory. One is the limited, other is unlimited. One is limited power, other is unlimited power. The contradiction in the upadhi, that is rejected. Samlakshya chinmatrataya sadatmanaha. And then what is pointed is only at the pure consciousness. And what is the nature of that? Akhanda bhava parichayate budhaihi. These wise people, they understand that pure consciousness to be this unbroken pure awareness. And how do they do that? Evam mahavakya shatena kathyate. Through hundreds of such statements in the scriptures, this oneness is pointed out. Brahmatmanoho aikya bodha aikyam akhanda bhava. The oneness of Brahman and Atman, their unbroken nature, akhanda bhava. So now this is what is the way to determine what is the implied meaning actually. Bhaga Tyaga. This Bhaga Tyaga is what has to be done. Retain the part and reject one part. When we say reject one part, reject the false identification and falsify that. Then what is retained will reveal itself as pure consciousness. So now this much when one has understood, this is what is Tattvamasi, this is what is the Lakshana Vritti, Jahat, Ajahat Lakshana is to be applied. Now remember, as we said earlier, this is all to be applied in the Nididhyasa. So the approach that a seeker has will be this, that I negate who I am not and I assert who I am. So now the next portion is of how to actually do the negation and what is the attitude to be done, had in this state of contemplation. So though the translation there says attitude in meditation, but actually it is attitude in contemplation. Contemplation is the practice, meditation is the state. That what is the state that we have to discover, that state of oneness with the Supreme, that is called meditation. It is a noun, it is not a verb. The word meditation is a noun. So attitude in meditation means attitude in the practice of contemplation. That what attitude should a seeker have? Before they go on to describe the method of sitting and contemplating, etc., that is covered more elaborately in 6th chapter of the Gita. Here the attitudinal change is given based on this Mahavakya. So 250. Asthulamitye siddham svato vyoma vada pratarkyam ato mrisha matramidam pratitam jahihi yat swatmataya grihitam brahmahamityeva vishuddha buddhya viddhi svamatmanam akhanda bodham. Asthulam iti etad asannirasya. So this is again using the scriptural quotation. Asthulam, neti neti, when we see, it rejects the gross, it rejects the subtle. So this is the quotation from the Upanishad, where one says that Brahman is not gross, asthulam, Brahman is not short, anu, Brahman is not long. Asthulam ityetad asannirasya. Siddham swato. It is self-existent. Vyomavad. It is like space. So it is like space, meaning everything is in the space, but space remains unaffected by anything. In that way, it is like space. Vyomavad apratarkyam, unattached, unaffected. Apratarkyam. Atom risha matram idam pratitam. And hence, all this which we see, the names and forms, is mrisha, is illusion. Jahihi yat swatmataya grihitam. And what one should do, one should just drop. Jahihi, negate. Swatmataya grihitam. What I am thinking as my own self, this BMI, as well as this world which I am seeing, thinking it is real, I have to drop that. Brahmaham ityeva vishuddha buddhya. How do I do that? With this steady contemplation that I am Brahman. So this is the Bhagatyaga. This is the Jahat Ajahat, where I am rejecting my identification with the BMI and the reality I gave to the world by asserting Brahmaham ityeva vishuddha buddhya, by asserting that I am Brahman. What will be the result of this? Vidhi swam atmanam akhanda bodham. One will come to realize the Atma, which is akhanda bodha, pure awareness, unbroken awareness. So this is the method which has to be followed. Now, we have explained this earlier also, so we go to the next one where the same thing is given through another example of the pot. Mrit karyam sakalam ghatadi satatam rinmatramevahitam tadvat sajjanitam sadatmakamidam sanmatramevakhilam yasman nasti satapparam kimapi tat satyam sa atma swayam tasmat tattvamasi prashantam amalam brahma dvayam yat param. So very nice example here. Mrit karyam sakalam ghatadi satatam. All the different modifications like pot, cup, pitcher, saucer, plate, which are made up of mud. What are they? Mrinmatrameva hitam. They are nothing but mud alone. Meaning the cause pervades the effect completely. Mud is the cause. Pot, cup, pitcher, saucer, these are all different forms of the same mud. Mrinmatrameva hitam. And there is only mud. There is no pot, pitcher, etc. That's only word. In the same way, tadvat sajjanitam sadatmakamidam. From the truth, when this whole universe has appeared, sanmatrameva akhilam. This entire universe is nothing but pure consciousness, the truth alone. Yasman nasti sata param kimapi tat satyam sa atma swayam. Because there is nothing other than this truth, that alone is the reality. Just like the pot, there is nothing called pot, there is only mud. In the same way, this entire universe is only pure consciousness. There is nothing else except pure consciousness. But we are seeing name and form. So that is what has to be rejected. And consciousness has to be retained. Tasmat tattvamasi prashantam amalam. Hence, you are that consciousness. Because everything is the appearance of consciousness alone. So how can I not be consciousness? I can't be something other than consciousness. Like the pot cannot be anything other than the mud. It is only mud and mud alone. Nothing else but the mud. So that way our nature is only pure consciousness. Tasmat tattvamasi. And what is my nature? Prashantam. Absolutely peaceful. Amalam, purest. Brahman, the biggest. Advayam, non-dual. Param, supreme. Meaning, just like the mud is not, mud alone is, and there is no pot, pitcher, etc. In that way, my nature is only pure consciousness, Brahman, nothing else. And that Tattvamasi, that is what I am. So there are two examples given. One is of this pot and the mud. and the other is of the dream. So that dream example we will take up in the class on Monday. There is this sheet which will explain to you little more deeper about the 3 types of Lakshana Vritti. So 2 sides are there. We had made this during the course when I was studying in Sandipani. So I'm going to take a picture of this and I will put it on the drive in the section study material. So those who want to study this more better, you can go through this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.